All right, y'all. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. What's going on, everybody? Let's jump right in. Today we want to break down cognitive therapy. This is deep because you do not have to earn or work to have the right to be wealthy, healthy, wise, and in a great relationship. You were born with the right to be wealthy, healthy, wise, and in a great relationship, and we got conned and tricked into earning and working. So today we want to break down cognitive therapy, which is the therapy underneath the therapy that I provide and have been doing for the last 20 years. So tonight is Thursday, September the 22nd, 2022. Time is up to 9:08 Central. And the reason why we're doing today's show is when I look at what's the most impactful way I can assist you with being the best version and the highest version of yourself, which simply means to be an individual expression of God on earth, which simply means to establish heaven on earth. Well, it's to get you to understand your worth and value, so you do not have to earn the right. You was born with the right. And so there's a battle between earning the right and understanding that you was born with the right. Since many of us don't know that we was born with the right, we still trying to earn the right. And unfortunately for most of us, we are working for the right so that way we can earn the right instead of just being the right. That just simply means that every day when you wake up, focus-based reality is what I do every day. So I use focus, discipline, and order to establish focus-based reality. Without focus-based reality, then I must earn and I must work to have the right to be wealthy, healthy, wise, and get my toes curled. And everybody on this call, unfortunately, we all suffer from cognitive dissonance. So cognitive dissonance is having two opposing opinions inside of one brain. And so when we get rid of cognitive dissonance, we must use cognitive therapy, or what I call repo. So repo is spiritual therapeutics. Spiritual therapeutics helps you to get out of earning. That's called, begging, pleading, praying, hoping, wishing, pondering, everything that most traditional Christians do, because we are worthless sinners. And because you have this idea that you are a worthless sinner, then on the other hand, you're supposed to establish a high self-esteem and self-worth. I can easily see why most people suffer from extreme cognitive dissonance, because on one hand, I'm telling you that you are a royal priest, a holy nation, you're a joint heir, that you are, an individual expression of God on earth. Even the Helios Biblio says that you are the offspring of God, that you are God yourself. Do you not know that ye are gods? So how can you be God and peasants at the same time? Thus, poverty. So poverty is a cognitive dissonance. Anytime you don't have the ability to solve a problem yourself, you're suffering from cognitive dissonance. Anytime you have a sense of concern, that's cognitive dissonance. Anytime you wonder how I'm going to pay this bill, that's cognitive dissonance. Anytime you look at your reality instead of looking at your be live. Now, this is deep. All of these messages are deep. But this one, today, this is deep. Because this is how you unleash your inner gorilla, as we talked about a couple of days ago. Everybody has this beast that allows you to exercise your violence, because the violent they don't ask. Like, we take it by force. So in order to go from failure to success, you gotta understand, how do I change from thinking that I need to earn and work to just wake up and say, I deserve to be wealthy, and actually mean it. In your bones, you have a sense of privilege. That's why I like white folks. I like white folks because they got white privilege instead of God privilege. So I'm talking about God privilege. Now, the closest I've seen to God privilege is white privilege. White folks just wake up and believe that they are better. And they just carry themselves like they deserve to go in front of the line. Like I said, I like going to the movies, and white person are standing in line at the grocery store. White people look around, they see a long line, and they'll just get out of line and walk up to the front. Hey, where's the manager at? And, somebody needs to open up some of these registers over here. Hey, we got 10 registers and only 2 open. Who's the supervisor? And then I even love it even more when 2 white folks get into a disagreement, because both believe that they're right. They got privilege. And it's this privilege that I need you to understand that you got it too. Whether you're white, black, green, doesn't matter. You got privilege. But if you're not keyed on, you don't know. So you believe that you got to earn it before you can obtain it. You don't know that you, by birth, that means you should be. You already are worthy. You don't have to get taller. You don't have to get skinnier. You don't have to get lighter. You don't have to get, smarter. You don't have to make more money. You don't have to make less money. You don't have to be married. You don't have to be single. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be a Muslim. You don't have to be a Satanist. You don't have to know what I know. You don't have to be an etymologist. You don't have to be a Master Teacher 33. You don't have to be a Life Path number 6. By the mere fact that you are, bam, that means you're worthy. So you should feel, because we all got conned. This is one of the most profound secrets. This is really part of the pay-per-view, but I needed to do a section of it, and I'm going to go deeper into cognitive therapy in the private show, but I needed to get this in the public domain. Because when you really think about what I'm saying is everybody on this call believe that you have to work hard, that you have to have a job, you have to earn money. Even if you say you don't, you do. Because if you got a bill to pay, you're going to get it tomorrow, you're going to do something to generate money. You're not going to be something to generate money. That's how I know you're suffering from cognitive dissonance. So whenever I need to make more money, I think more thoughts about my worth and my value. That creates harmony that says I deserve. And I get a righteous indignation that makes me, again, disturbed. It creates a healthy disdain. It's not angry. I'm not upset. I've got a healthy disdain. That healthy disdain makes me examine my cognitive functions, my cognitive processes, my cognitive resources, and my cognitive abilities. Now we're going to take these one at a time so you can over and understand the mistake that we are missing a take. We're supposed to take something, but we're missing. What do we need to take away? You need to take away that you are a spiritual being, not a spiritual doing. So money should come to you just because you be. Okay, so what do you be? Well, money can't come to you because you not be. So the word believe is really be live. Is there anybody that is being alive? If you are being alive, that's your belief system. So being alive means you're being live. It's like doing a Facebook Live. Well, if you're doing a live show, like this is a recorded show, technically I could go and re-listen to it and edit it and take out my mistakes. Well, if I'm doing a live broadcast, like for everybody that's listening right now, when you're listening live, it's not a delay. So if I drop some F-bombs, I can't go back and edit the F-bombs out. But once we disconnect, for the people who listened live, you got the F-bombs, but I could edit. So your money comes from you being live. So you got to be live. You got to believe. So believe means to be live. Now that's what they call word magic. Now let's go behind the magic. Like remember, we're looking for the problem underneath the problem. So I'm looking for the magic underneath the magic. What's the magic, Doc? Well, this is the magic. The secret is to become anything you want in life requires cognitive belief. That's the magic. Somebody should write that down because we're going to break it down. Now, this is another way of saying what I've been saying for 20 years. I just say the same thing in different ways. So, what are you saying, Doc? Well, I'm saying there is a cognitive belief that creates a cognitive function, that creates cognitive processes, that creates cognitive resources, that establishes your cognitive results or cognitive abilities. Emphasis on the word cognitive. So when I talk about cognitive, I'm simply talking about the way the brain works. Everybody has, and everybody's cognitive. Everybody has a brain, and your brain allows you to be live. But we call it a belief. So to be live, you gotta have a belief. No belief, you're not live. You're not alive. You're in a zombie state. So zombies, they don't have a belief system. They're not live. Now the reason why this is so important, even though it's word magic, because the whole world is based upon word magic. So once you understand cognitive, be live, if you want to manifest your dream husband or your dream wife, if you want to manifest your dream job, if you want to manifest your dream life, whatever it is that you want to manifest, that just simply means that right now you must live a lie. You must be alive. You must be live. But live means to be live. Now, when I say be live, like I tell you guys, lying is manifesting. I mean, you guys remember that show I did? This is why I'm so successful. The reason I'm so successful is I lie to myself. And I lie to myself every day. I say, boy, you're fucking God. I say, boy, you're the baddest mother peep on the planet. Boy, you're a millionaire. Boy, you look half your age. Man, you're going to live till you're 150. You'll be popping out babies when you're 90. I just lie to myself. Every day I just wake up lie to myself. Because that does something inside of me. It crushes the lie inside of me that says, you're not fucking worthy. Inside of everybody on this call, there's a little voice in your head. It's buried. This is focus-based reality. See, we're not focus-based reality. Your reality is based upon what you focus. But your focus is being controlled sub or unconsciously. So I'm just making the unconscious conscious. What is the unconscious? At the base of the core, the problem, behind the problem, behind the problem, behind the problem, you're not worthy. That's it. Everybody has the same problem. An improper self-image. So I'm saying the same thing I've been saying for 20 years. I'm just saying it another way today. Why? Because I got to go different verbs control different nerves. So Doc, one more time. I want to write this down. What is the most pressing problem that I have? You don't have a proper self-image. Period. Anybody want to debate? Now, how do I know you don't have a proper self-image? Well, you're not like Joe Bezos from the monetary perspective. Now, Bezos and all these 1%, they could be, effed up in their personal life. So I'm not saying that these guys are like the standard of perfection. I'm just saying that from a monetary perspective. So do not compare your circumstances with somebody else's. And guess what? Do not compare your circumstances with your own self. What do I mean? That's the reason I don't compare my happiness. I don't compare my past, my present, or my future to anyone else, including myself. So what I did in my past, I don't use it against me. I only use it for me. And I said this again, I rewrote my past. So all the bad shit that I did that the devil used to try to condemn me and say, man, sit down somewhere, dude. You remember you lied, cheated on your wife so many times, you lost count. You really was a fucked up father in the first marriage. I mean, you did all right, but come on, bro. Come on, man. You moved your family how many times? How many elementary schools did your kids go to, dog? Sit down, bro. So what I said, I don't give a fuck about that, dog. This is me talking to me, though. So, me, my dark side, cannot say nothing to my light side. Because my light side is giving the dark side the finger. And when the dark side started talking, the light side said, shut the people. Why? Because you must over-understand that taps into your worth and your value. So how do you build worth? Self-esteem is the promises that you keep to yourself. Let me say it again. How do you build high self-esteem? Because remember, network equals self-worth. So we got a problem. We think we've got to earn self-worth. So all you got to do is keep your promises to yourself. Shift yourself. That simply means that you need to or rearrange your self-worth. So instead of establishing your self-worth from what you do and how well you do it, you shouldn't get your dopamine any longer from what you do. Primarily, when I do a show, do I get dopamine? Yes. But how do I get the gumption to do a show? Like right now, I'm in the office. There's about 20 people in the living room. I was hanging out there, the wife's family over because it's the wife's birthday. I told everybody, hey, man, where you going? Oh, I got a show to do. Oh man, and it's Thursday night football, the outlaws, in-laws in there, brother-in-law, most of the wife's family. I just dropped 10 grand a day on her new ring. Took her to, Bath and Body Works and got another couple $100 on freaking candles and smell good shit. Then went to Lowe's for gardening stuff. So I've been hanging out all day. Got early this morning, took her to breakfast. Then brought everybody, a bunch of Wingstop and crap. So all day, because my wife is a doer. And I'm not. So first thing I did was, if you guys saw my post on my Facebook page, it was like a little mini article that I wrote this morning, last night, really right about to look. I had to ask her like a couple of times, hey, did you read what I posted on Facebook? Oh yeah, I saw it. Because she didn't know I had anything planned today. So I'm a word guy. So I read it. I was impressed with myself. She read it and didn't give a fuck about it. Didn't even mention it. So what if I was getting my worth, my value, my dopamine from what I wrote? Shit, we can divorce right now. because that shit hurt my feelings. I stayed up for a while researching, coming up with good stuff, making a nice post, put it on Facebook. But I like words. Remember the problem that I had on my birthday? But I'm aware. But on my birthday, she kept trying to get me to do stuff. Let's go here. Let's go here. Like I said, no. She got angry. She got upset. Because I'm one willing to take the love the way she wanted me to take it. No, you got to love me the way I am designed, not the way you want me to. So you got to know yourself, and you got to know everybody else, or the people that you are, that's in your circle. If not, relationship's gonna suck. Thankfully, I was born at night, but I just wasn't born last night. That's the reason that I'm doing this class, and the reason I do every class is because when I talk to people who have a relationship problem, that's always a problem. We would not be married right now if I didn't understand and say what I just shared. So I'm sitting here doing a show. The wife is in there talking with all of her, 20 plus family members, and she's happy as a lark. Why? Because this morning, after I did my post that released dopamine in my body, it didn't do shit for her. She didn't even read it. I had to ask her, oh, you post something? Yeah, I posted it on Facebook. I said, did you read it? Oh, yeah, I read it. No, it wasn't like, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was like Pulitzer Prize winning. She read it because that's not how she received dopamine. That's what I keep telling you guys this, man. So what about your clients? What about your customers? You can't shove your life path number down other people's throats. So if I'm counseling somebody who's a 1, I counsel them totally different than somebody who's an 8. I always tell the 8s up front that this program probably may not be, before I sell the life management system to the 8, because they're looking for structure. 8s are looking for systems, templates, PDF documents, step-by-step processes, well planned out. They're looking for, stuff that is neatly packaged. They need structure. Well, 5s don't. If I'm talking to somebody who's a 5, they love the life management system because it's self-paced. When I send you module 1, I just send you a bunch of audios and a bunch of books. You're supposed to read that shit and listen to it on your own. There ain't no step-by-step plan as to which book to go first. And the modules are in order, but as far as how you read it, and do you just listen to one module or you listen to all of them in one day? Well, that's up to you. It's a 1-year program. You can do it in 1 month. For an 8, that's confusing. For a 5, that's totally good. So what I'm saying to you tonight is you have to know yourself and you have to know the person that's sitting across the table from you. That's called a client. So you draw people to you who are in harmony with you, who vibrate with your message. So your job now is to see that all I got to do is be in harmony with myself. I don't have to do anything to earn anything. I just got to be. But that's a problem. Nobody knows that. Even the people that know it, I know it. I've been doing it for 20 years. Every morning I get up, I got to fight myself not to go out and make money. I got to fight every day because I'm so programmed that I need to make money instead of just be money. Every day I got to fight. I got to say, hey, slow down, man. Just be. Just exude what source code drops into you. Because there's a little voice in your head that says, if you don't do nothing, you're not worth nothing. So if you don't get up and go out your house and, write a book, do a show, if you don't do nothing, you ain't got no worth and no value. So you cannot, do not compare your happiness. Do not compare your circumstances. Do not compare your past, your present, or your future to anyone else, including your own self. You have to be able to do therapy or cognitive therapy on your own cognitive dissonance by shifting yourself and shifting or receiving your self-worth from who God designed you to be, from your life path number, your life optimization purple, your life optimization circle, instead of receiving your dopamine from what you do with your life optimization circle. So who you are is more powerful and more important than who or what you do. Ooh. Now I understand faith without works is dead. But today I need you to understand faith comes before works. Because right now the emphasis is on works. This is not on disposition. So my job is to help you make this cognitive shift in your thinking to focus on allowing yourself to believe you were created perfectly to just be, not to do. So sometimes, in fact, all the time, less is more. Like I do way too much content creation because I love creating content. But if I did less, I'll make more money. It's crazy, right? If I did less shows, if I wrote less books, if I did less, because how fast I do these shows. We just finished the last series. Shit, y'all still digesting that one. And then the series before that, and the series before that, and the series before that. So I pump out so many series that you still digesting and absorbing the last series, and hey, here's a new series you ready to pop out. So sometimes I'll slow down and I'll just do some free shows, but then that's still series worthy. You know how hard it is for me not to do no shows? Then I be working out like shit 3 to 5 times a day. So the shows allow me to express myself and to get energy because of the dopamine that I receive from doing a show. But I have to be cautious and careful not to trick myself and shoot my own self in the foot. What do you mean? Well, you do not have to work or earn the right to be wealthy. Let me say it again. You do not have to work. You do not have to earn the right. So tonight's message is about the right, your rights. So my question to you is, what are your rights? So when I was a cop, people would tell me, shoot, I know my rights, man. You can't do that, brother. Really? So what are your inalienable, or what I call your God-given rights? So we got God-given constitutional rights. Remember the Constitution says something like, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that all men are endowed, I think, all men endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's all I remember. So, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, all of those things are in the Codex Gigas. They're also in the Book of Coming Forth by Day and by Night. They're just in the Book of the Dead. It's also in the Satanic Bible. So Satanists believe that they have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness at your expense. Christians believe they have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as long as it does not, hurt, harm, or defraud anybody else. So these are all supposedly constitutional or God-given rights. But that's not what we're talking about tonight. Now, we can go on. You can look at the Constitution and Declaration of Independence and blah, blah, blah. That's all man-made. But there are certain God-given rights. The main God-given right that you have is the right to be. whatever you want to be without asking for someone else's opinion or needing someone else's approval. Now, that's the W.E. Rogers definition of what is called natural law. Inalienable natural rights. So your God-given rights, they can't be given and they can't be taken away. Now, they say life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But I'm talking about the God-given life to be. That's the number one God-given right. What is your right that we're talking about tonight? The right to be. Being means existing. Existing means a mental disposition. Like so the Shore of the West is talking about in her book mental maintenance or mentalness. What does that mean? The right to establish a ruling disposition. That's what we don't understand what that means. So what does that mean, Doc? That means everybody on this call should be receiving minimum of $100,000 a year, and you don't do shit. You sit at home and just watch TV all day. If you can breathe, you should be getting paid 100 G's minimum. And that's like $1,000 a week. A little over that, but let's just round it down. So the question is, how come you're not receiving $1,000 a week? What, you don't believe it's worthy of $1,000 a week? Why? There's nobody in this call that can tell me that you should get paid $100,000 a year for sitting at home on your ass doing nothing. We all been programmed that you don't work, you don't eat. We all been programmed. We all have been programmed to believe the lie that you got to work and earn to be wealthy, healthy, wise, in a great relationship. That's cognitive dissonance. Because you are a joint heir. You're a royal priest. So you're an individual expression of God. You're a walking, talking, breathing ATM machine. You're worth way more than $100,000. That's why I said $100,000. $100,000 is peanuts compared to your true worth and value. But we got to start somewhere. So cognition is the fact that we don't have a clear understanding of how to be. What's it mean to be? Well, cognition is a mental process that leads to thoughts, that leads to gnosis or knowledge, and it leads to what we call consciousness or what. But it's a mental process. So this is consciousness that's underneath the consciousness. So consciousness is a result of consciousness. That's the result of consciousness. That's the result of consciousness. So there's some underlying mechanisms called cognitive processes. So these cognitive process governs what we call consciousness. Now, the cognitive processes underneath what you call consciousness or what we call unconsciousness. So the CNS, and especially the ANS, your automatic nervous system, how does it work automatically? Well, it works automatically because there are what is called pattern matching, problem solving, memory decision-making strategy. That's a long way of saying that your word recognition, the word cognition and cognitive means get to know. So your genes have what is called a protein synthesis that tells the genes how to express themselves. Each pattern matches and it solves a specific problem based upon your memory, your learning, and your DNA level, meaning that this shit is genetic, handed down. That determines your genetic expression and your strategic thinking. That simply means that your genes are programmed and put into a particular order so that when you have a certain type of cognition or cognitive process. That is a fancy way of saying your consciousness is the result of your indoctrination, as we've been saying in the pay-per-view show. So if I change my indoctrination, but I can't, why not? I don't even wear it. What does that mean? That means right now I think that if I do not get up tomorrow and go to work, I'm not going to get a check. So that means if I don't get a check, I'm not worthy of a check. Man, you walk around breathing, you worthy of a check. You should get paid. I said, we don't. Well, we live in a system that's kind of bumped up. So the system knows your worth and your value, but they ain't paying you for it. So you should just get, like, do you know that in nature, nothing lives for itself? A tree lives to provide shade for other birds and animals and fruits. So the tree does not live for itself. I'll say it again. Nothing in nature exists for its own self. It exists to serve other things in nature. So you don't exist to get your own rocks off. You exist to assist other people with getting their rocks off. And in return, you get your rocks off too. So the cognitive process that allows you to interact and function in what is called a higher order or a higher mental capacity, higher. That simply means hieroglyphs. Higher. That is, it gives you better decision making and creative thinking based upon memorization. MEMS. So inside the genes, there are MEMS. MEMS is a biological expression. Simply means you are coded to express yourself a certain way that allows you to get paid. In layman's terms, that means that you are programmed by God to be wealthy, healthy, wise, and in a great relationship. Now the $1 billion question is, well, how come I'm not getting paid? Okay, that's easy. Because you got reprogrammed by another program that said, you don't work, you don't eat. They put that shit in the Helios Biblios, but it's not in the original text. Or interpretation controls and creates implementation, as we said earlier today. Since you interpret that to mean ergon, the word work, well, there's many different meanings to the English word work in the ancient text. It does not mean physical activity. It means mental disposition. So work in the Bible is a mental disposition. Let me say that again. Work is a mental disposition. Let me say it again. Work means to think on these things. So if you don't work, you don't eat. That means that you don't think. If you don't establish a mental disposition, bam, you're not going to do what? You're not going to draw men, means, and resources to you. So what's the secret sauce, Doc? What should I do tonight? Tonight, you need to act as if. Tonight, every day, you don't have to do nothing to earn the right to just be. Say it again. This should shock your spirit. You ain't got to do shit tomorrow morning to make $100,000. If you add the word be to the word live, you will get the word be live, what we call believe. The extra E is for enough. So if you are being alive, that's enough. B-E-L-I-E-V. And the extra E is for the word enough. So because you have more than enough, you have abundance. If you are being live right now, that means if you believe, everybody believes, we all got to believe this, whatever it is, even if it's wrong, the brain doesn't care. Because remember, the brain doesn't care what you believe. The only thing that matters is does your belief system produce the quality of life that you want to live? Mine does. Why? Because I changed it. Before I changed it, it didn't. How come? Because I was waiting. What am I waiting for? Oh, well, I was waiting for, Jesus, Hare Krishna, whoever to come by TD Jakes and drop it off. Now, I have a spirit of expectation. What am I expecting? My abundance. Why? It's my birthright. So I believe that it is totally within my right now, to manifest all my dreams. What I got to do? Nothing. I know I'm going to do something, though, because I know tomorrow morning my brain is going to tell me, based upon what I ordered, what to do. So since I ordered divine health when I'm 120, tomorrow morning my brain will tell me, hey, if you want to be able to walk up a flight of stairs when you're 120, if you want to be able to pop out babies, the best way to release massive amount of testosterone is through resistance training, heavy lifting, and sprint, not cardio. Because you got to get your heart rate up to tap into, to create stress, to activate the AMPK inside of. And remember we broke this all down before. It's called, syntunia science. When I did the Therapeutics nutrition class, they call it keto. But what does it do to the body? Well, it's just like intermittent fasting. If you got to put the body in the state of stress, for some reason or other, that activates longevity genes. So if your body is never in the state of, oh shit, we ain't got enough calories, we got to activate and produce more stem cells, and we need food, so we got to activate a state of apophagy or autophagy, which means self-eating spirit. Autophagy. So my healthy cells is going to look for weak, broke cells, kill them, take the parts out of them and use it, because there's no excess glucose in the body. Now, we did this in a Therapeutics nutrition class. So how do I know all of this? I just made a statement. What I said, I decided to be what I decided to be. I decided to be healthy when I'm 120. I decided to pop out babies when I'm 90. That means that my pecker got to work when I'm 90. So my brain will send me all the things I need to do today to make sure that my pecker's working when I'm 90. Now you can do the same thing. All you got to do is what? Choose you this day what you want to be. So the secret sauce is not you. You will be doing stuff, but people say, Doc, if I say, hey, make us go. Well, okay, I want to be an author. The brain don't say there's a shit about how you're going to be an author. Just make the goal and believe it. How? It'll come to you. You got to worry about it. We all worry about, well, how? Tell me how. Bump how. What? You have to make a concrete decision. Draw the line in the sand and say this or this. Until then, keep your day job. Ain't shit gonna happen. This is why very few people can manifest. Why? Nobody's willing to draw the line in the sand and say, shit, I'm willing to live for this. So, the brain knows you ain't fucking serious. The brain says this fool because he lied to himself. Like, remember, the only thing that you gotta do, never lie to yourself. What does that mean? Never make a promise to yourself that you don't keep. That neuters you. That's why most men, they get their balls are in a jar that source code is holding. Now, their wives, God's got your balls. Why? You keep lying to yourself. You're an irresponsible creator. So until you become responsible, God has neutered you. What does that simply mean? You don't keep your own word. If you say you write a book and you're going to write 1 page a day, and it's been a whole week and you haven't wrote a page, shit, your balls is in a jar. You have no creative power. You need a job. Because you ain't going to manifest shit. Because manifestation is the result of keeping promises to yourself. That's all it is. That's why I manifest. I can manifest stuff because if I say I'm going to get up and work out, I'm going to get up and work out. I just got to be rigid and stringent. No. Like today, I only work out once today. Most of now, I always work out twice today. Well, it's the wife's birthday. And today, I ate a bunch of junk food. Why? That's long on birthdays. You got cakes, you got ice cream, this and that. Now, could I be rigid and say, no, I ain't eating that. I'm a man of God. I don't eat sugar. Praise Jesus. Yeah, I can do that too. But I don't know who I'm doing that for. I'm trying to impress people with my piety, or am I really that anal retentive? Of course not. So why I'm gonna act all like for show? Bunch of people over here, so I want to act like, I don't engage and stuff like that. In fact, I'm gonna go to my prayer closet and I'm gonna be alone with the Father and I'm gonna seek the face of God. Y'all know how y'all do. I mean, not y'all personally, but you know. But no, I don't fake the funk. If I want to eat some cake, I'm gonna eat some cake. If I don't, I don't. So can't nobody amp me up because I get my dopamine from me, myself, and I. So again, tonight's message is you do not have to work or earn the right. Now, do you work for money? Yes. But do you work for rights? No. And your money comes from your rights. So you don't really have to work for money. But money is not paper. Money is energy. So you don't have to work for energy. But what you got to do? You got to choose. You got to be energy. So do you got to work to make a conscious decision? Like this morning, I was thinking about, man, my birthday was whack. I should make my wife's birthday whack. So I could have been tit for tat and posted my verbal onslaught on Facebook and did nothing for the rest of the day. What would happen to our marital bliss? It'd be gone out the window. Because every year, as I learned in the beginning, but I didn't know numbers, the way I do now, and I was giving my wife what I wanted instead of what she desired. Fours do not like to talk the same way threes and sixes do. So fours don't give a beep about your linguistical, skill set. They want to can you put your hands in the dirt? Can you establish dependability? Are you loyal? Can you work and produce? If not, you gotta go play in traffic. If you're talking to a four. So my job is to make sure that I know that I have the right to align my being, my mental disposition, how I choose to exist with my design. That's it. The secret sauce is you're suffering from cognitive dissonance, so I got to perform repo, which is the Greek word for cognitive therapy, to remove cognitive disposition. You're not being the way God designed you to be. You're focusing on doing stuff. I got to go to work. Well, that's a doing. So if you don't lead with your spiritual senses, you're in trouble. This is how you know you're suffering from cognitive dissonance. You wake up, you use your five senses. If you wake up every morning and use your five senses, you basically, bumping yourself for a more benevolent term. So you should stop. I highly recommend it. You should stop shooting yourself in the foot. So if you wake up in the morning and you use your five senses instead of your seven spiritual senses, you're in deep kimchi. The only spiritual sense that we need to talk about is discernment, or the sixth sense. So when I wake up every morning, the first thing I do is, okay, Big G, what you saying today, bro? What's on the menu? What's on the agenda? I tap into the ether. I tap into the quantum kingdom or the quantum ring. Why do I do that? Well, Big G is not on the planet. So the first thing that I do is I be. So I don't physically do something. I mentally think something. So I don't physically do something. I mentally think something. I don't physically do something. I mentally think something. I don't physically do something. I mentally think something. I don't physically do something. I mentally think something. You have, and you are more than enough. You have enough abundance within you right now to manifest all of your dreams and a couple of family members. So why do we fail? Why do we fall into the trap of believing that manifesting is really difficult? How many people believe that, man, the manifesting is hard? Manifesting is bumping easy. Excuse me. So what does that mean? Well, we cannot simply believe that manifesting is easy. We've been trained to work hard. All I did was decide to work smart. I changed my belief. So I do not believe you got to work hard. I believe you got to work smart. So I work smart. I choose to be smart. I don't choose to be hard. So I removed that cognitive dissonance. For you to manifest what you want, you got to practice the law of healing. The law of healing means you must come, or you must align, or you must attract, or you must be abundance, not scarcity. You must heal yourself from a scarcity mentality. Remember, I already did that, and I talk about it all the time. What is a scarcity mentality? I talk to a lot of people, and remember, this is what's going to happen. People come here, like people just do all the time, they get angry, they get pissed off, they leave. What do I mean by leave? I mean, when I say leave, I mean you don't physically leave, you don't go nowhere, but you disconnect. Now, you will still be listening, but I will say something I probably already did. It's going to piss you off. You still be listening, but you trying to tune me out. So, belief system, it always pisses you off first before it elevates you. So, what are you saying that? Well, I'm saying that right now, you got to see the glass is always half full. So no matter what happens in your life, the glass is half full. All things work together for your good. That's the law of healing. The law of healing states, I am going to operate only in the belief of abundance. Since I bring about what I feel about, since nothing exists except abundance. That's the law of healing. Because very few, I can count on one finger the number of people who believe in the law of abundance. Because the law of abundance states, when my daughter Shamur died, which is what I said, what's the law of abundance? All things work together for my good. When I lose, I win. Law of abundance. In order to heal yourself, you have to be the law of abundance. You can't just choose it whenever you want. So when something bad happens, all things work together for my good. That means this too benefits me. The law of abundance is the belief that you can have the real deal Holyfield. It simply means you can have your dreams and it comes to you, money flows to me easily and effortlessly from all directions, 24/7, 365. I choose to believe that. That's the law of healing. So I'm removing all belief systems that are contrary to that. So once you establish a belief of abundance, once you believe that you can actually live in a state where your desires is fulfilled, oh, boo-boo, it's downhill from now. Because guess what? All your worry is gone. Why? Because most people have to wait for their wealth to arrive to feel abundance. Let me say it again. Most people have to wait for their abundance to arrive before you feel abundance. Let me say it again. Today is, what is today? Wednesday, I think? No, today's Thursday. Somebody is waiting until tomorrow for your check to come before you feel abundance. Why? Well, you broke. Are you broke? Fuck no, you ain't broke. So why you waiting for Friday? Well, Friday's payday. So today's Thursday. So right now you broke. But are you broke? No, you ain't broke. You just don't have what we call money or funds from that specific job. But you have an abundance privilege. Abundance is your privilege. Abundance is your birthright. So you can't be broke. So you can't feel like you are broke. You should feel abundance right now. You should feel wealth right now, health right now, wisdom right now. Whether you're single or married, you should feel in a great relationship right now. Why? Because you determine your beliefs. You determine how you feel on the inside. Your job is to establish a feeling, an attitude of gratitude, a feeling that says, hey, my dopamine is being released. How? Because I choose to be how I was born. Focused based reality states. Whatever you focus on, you get more of. Since I choose to be born rich, I ain't got to do shit. I can sit in my drawers every day and do nothing except use the information to challenge instead of using the information to confirm. So that's why wealthy people, we use information to build wealth. Poor people use information to confirm poverty. So I am a connoisseur of information and ideal about abundance. I only see abundance. This is why I have very few friends. This is why I try to help people see what I see. And when I tell people in the midst of their pain, in the midst of their adversity, be happy, see, get the fuck out of here with that, man. Man, I ain't gonna try to be happy right now, but I'm pissed off. I just lost my job. I just lost a loved one. I want to be angry. I want to grieve. Okay, bye. I have to do it with my kids. My middle daughter said, I ain't talked to you ready for a year. She said she wanted to grieve. I said, I ain't grieving. So if you want to grieve, you got to go somewhere else with that shit. And don't bring it over here. So she did. She didn't call me. I ain't call her. Now we talk every other day. Why? After she put on about 100 pounds, developed a bunch of cysts in her ovaries, started having all of these health problems. She called me and said, damn, Dad, maybe this chronic grieving and this toxic shame and stress, crying every day, maybe that's not the best thing to do. You fucking think? So now you're 100 pounds overweight. Went to the doctor. They said you got cysts all over your ovaries. You got this, you got that. It ain't bad, good, and different. It is what it is. I should know shit. I'm a twice their age. I already been there. I already made the mistake. So you tell people the truth, not key things. Why? You got fucking results. Now you got no results, then keep your mouth closed. But I already got results. I already been down that road. I know what's down there. So when I tell people what's down there, and they say, no, you wrong, shit, I get the fuck out the way. Go on, bro. Because guess what? I already know. I'm born rich. I'm born healthy. I was born with the right. Let me rephrase that. Because right and wealth is two different things. Let's close the definition of what I mean by you have the right. So if you have the right, now I should know where I'm going, because W-R-I-T-E, right? I'm a writer. What does that mean? Now remember, I'm born with the right to be, fill in the blank, any fucking thing I want. So are you. But you're not a writer. Ooh, you don't know sigil magic. Now it's not your fault you went to, a Christian church. They didn't teach you nothing about Grimoria, Grammatus, and Gramarine. You don't know that you're a witch and a wizard. In fact, you hate witches and wizards. You don't even know that you are one. If you can do what I'm doing right now, you're a witch and a wizard. Only witches and wizards can invoke and provoke. If you can invoke and provoke, if you can make a statement that influences somebody, you're a fucking witch. If you can take a symbol that's called a sigil, you're using runes. It's runic magic. You are practicing runic magic right now. Anybody know what chaos magic is? Triple Daddy, 100 grand. Look it up. Go to your favorite search and type in CHOAS. Is it CHAOS? How do you spell chaos? Then type in the word MAGICK. I think the A is first. CHA? Is it CHA or CHO? I think it's CHA. Anyway, just type it in. And you just read it. And you'll see everything that you're doing is in there. There's a book. Look at some of the ancient texts. You really want to mess your brain up? Type in CHAOS, chaos magic. Click on images. Type it in, CHAOS, chaos magic. What's interesting to me is, like, unless you are, Scandinavian, Welsh, or Dutch, a part of the dominant culture, you have no idea the power that you ain't using. All occult systems use chaos magic. Now, I don't know why they call it chaos, but they do. Because this chaos magic is this innate power. It's a power of desire that is created by and for oneself. For what? You ever thought, and you want to, quote unquote, manage or accomplish that thought? Well, that's magic. Well, that's supposed to be bad stuff. That's Luciferian. Really? So using Thylemma is, like, remember the Thylemmic order, the golden dawn? Well, that's demonic too. What is demonic? Using willpower. What is willpower? Desire. Now that's my superpower. My superpower is what? I'm stubborn. What does stubborn mean? Well, stubborn simply means if I make up my mind to do it or not do it, God himself has to come down to change it. Even then, I just go in and send me on up yonder. So my disposition is such that if I make up my mind not to do something, I would just go ahead and, take that bullet. It's very difficult, I should say, to change my disposition. That's good and bad. Because stubbornness is actually in witchcraft. And that was something to say. But I think it's the other way around. It's not stubbornness, it's, anyway, pretty close. In other words, stubbornness can be very, very bad. Because what happens if you latch on to the wrong things? So what are you saying, Doc? What I'm saying, everything that we do on this planet was taught to us by fallen angels. How do I know? Anybody read the Book of Giants? You want to hurt your brain? Not the Book of Enoch. The Book of Giants. Now, everybody still knows the Book of Enoch. I talk about it all the time, but there's another one called the Book of Giants. Anybody want to hurt their brain? Like, I'm talking about like it's fucked it up for real. There's another book called the Book of Solomon's Magic. There's another one called the Book of Shadows. There's another one called the Book of Spells. Yeah, I don't want to read these books. You might want to stick with King James. But if you really like for real, you like, man, Doc, don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You just niggas just making shit up. Read the Book of Giants. It's free on the internet. Just type in Book of Giants PDF. Read it. That, man. Now, it's one of the books that's found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Just go to sacredtext.com. Go down until you find the Book of Giants. and it talks about how these archangels, four specific ones, the head four, Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, and Israel, or Uriel, I should say. Now, fortunately or unfortunately, they only got fragments of the Book of Giants. How convenient. I bet the whole book is in the Vatican. But they tell me and you, well, a lot of the Book of Giants has a lot of blanks. It starts as a sentence and it's reading, blah, 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 blah. You know, the Giborium, the Gibari, the Giants, the Kastists, the Gish, Swishtish, whatever. When you start reading the Book of Giants and the Book of Enoch, it starts talking about this dude, King Og, that's in the Old Testament. Og of Bashan. That dude, remember he stuck on the boat. He was a giant. That's where all the old blood comes from. This shit's in there. They said these dudes defile themselves and they go through all of the animals. All of these stories that we see have giants and have this, you know, they have the Minotaur and the, you know, they have Carl and all of these books like in my boy the Lightning Thief movies, all that shit's in the Book of Giants. So what are you saying, Doc? What are you saying? I'm just expressing to you that, as I talked about earlier today, everybody's belief system on this planet, I can find flaws in it, bruh. Why? Because your belief system came from a fallen nature. That's why it's funny when I talk to Christians who they just, I know, you don't accept Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior, you're going to hell. Boo-boo, you're already in hell. Stop playing. Wake up. How do I know? Anybody watching the news? Am I the only one? So what do we do, Doc? What are you saying? I'm saying you do not have to earn the right. You have the right already by birth. The word right simply means kinetic imagery. It means auditory imagery, mental sounds. It means verbal thoughts. You know, we talked about vocal and visual. That just simply means that all cognition comes from a cognitive process that's based upon unknown spiritual activity that we call consciousness. But consciousness comes from certain cognitions or cognitive behaviors, which we break more down in the private message. So tonight, let me just close with this. Everybody on this call, nobody can make you choose or to accept your birthright. You can do like Esau. You can sell your birthright for a bowl of soup. All wealthy people, we're connoisseurs of information. And all of the information that we get, we try to find holes in our theory. That's it. We do not take in information to try to, shit, I already know what I believe. I already know what I know. I'm looking for ideals to challenge my belief. I want somebody to come and say, Doc, you lying, dog. This is why. Why? Because the thing that everybody presents, I've already researched. I already know more about it than you do. Not you personally, but, you know, people you know. Why? Well, me, I understand the game is about using information to build wealth. The key to changing life is learning how to change yourself. You ain't got shit to do with nobody else. So I know that success is my birthright. And I have the right to examine my belief and make sure that I see the glass half full instead of half empty. You got that same right. Everybody on this call, you should only do one thing. Cognitive belief. Make sure you do not have cognitive dissonance and you have cognitive belief. That just simply means know where you get your beliefs from. Where do I get my beliefs from? I get my beliefs from etymology of the cosmology. I get my beliefs from etymology of my theology. I get my beliefs from my etymology of my biology. Where do you get yours? I don't give a fuck if your belief is right or wrong. Nobody cares. All I want to know is can you tell yourself So that way you can build your self-worth because guess what you got? A provable system. In other words, whatever lie you got, make sure that you convince yourself that that lie is true. That's what the world we live in. The world we live in is a world where I don't care what lie you got. I don't care what the lie system you got. Just whatever it is, it has to be believable to you. So I had a system that wasn't believable to me. How come? It didn't produce no fruit. So if you got a system, nobody cares what it is. You arguing about the system. Bump your system. How much money you got in the bank? What's your blood pressure? What's your cholesterol level? Is your kidneys operating or they blowed out? How is your mental health? How can you relate to other people? Is everywhere you go, you getting fired? Does all your relationships end with the person leaving you? Are you leaving them? What is the quality of your life? Not the quantity. Nobody cares how long you live. I'm only interested in how you live. What is the quality of your relationships? You mean to tell me you're Christian, you can't get along with nobody? Like, everybody you talk to, you end up pissing them off, or they piss you off? Oh, but you Holy Ghost filled, water baptized, tongue talking. Turn over every chair in the church every Sunday. But you ain't got no friends. What's up with that? You see, brothers and sisters, you could be a superhero. You could be super Christian, or a super Satanist, or whatever. I just got one question for you. Can you manifest a job, money, health, wisdom, whatever step-by-step system you got? Does it work? Your interpretation should lead to implementation. Whatever it is. Nobody cares what it is. Now, we could break down what it is, but really, nobody cares. Does your interpretation of your reality and your mentality, does it lead to manifestation? If not, I think you may be trying to earn your way into heaven. You may be trying to work your way, but it's not work. It's not based upon earning and working. It's based upon believing. See, you were born with the right to be wealthy. You were born with the right to be healthy. You were born with the right to be an intellectual genius. And you was born with the right to be loved, valued, and respected. It is your birthright. So stop trying to earn it. Stop trying to work for it. And just exude it. Be it. Because it's done unto you as you be. I love you. Appreciate you. Ciao mañana. God bless.